Hey guys, you may or may not know that tomorrow is the 40th anniversary of Raiders of the Lost Ark being released into theaters. Now, you know how big of a Indiana Jones fan I am, so I am all set and ready to go tomorrow. But in order to celebrate, I figured, hey, I might as well read the Raiders of the Lost Ark book. So I picked that up a couple of weeks ago and just finished it this week and just in time pretty much. And I have to say, this book is incredible. It captures the movie perfectly. It expands upon the characters of the movie, and it even does a great job with Indiana Jones, which I loved because with the other Indiana Jones books, I kind of felt like Indiana Jones wasn't really presented all that well. Like the authors just didn't really know how to write him. But in this book, which was written by Campbell Black, he did a great job with Indy. And the cool thing too is this book came out right when the movie did, so it came out in 1981. And it only took me about 3 pages into the book before I was like, damn, I wish Campbell Black had written all the other Indiana Jones books. Like, this guy got it. And it's kind of a shame. I don't think he's really written any other books, maybe a couple of them, but nothing really that stands out. But he's a very good writer, and I mean, he really handled this source material greatly. I think if I had to guess, he was going off of the screenplay by Lawrence Kasdan because he adds a lot to the story. Like, basically, he fills in a lot of the blanks from the movie, like how Indy got here, who was he interacting with, and he also adds like a lot of scenes with Belloc. Basically, we go inside Belloc's head and hear his reasoning and what he wants to do, why he wants the Ark so bad. And it also deals with his meeting with Hitler and stuff, and basically how he hates working with the Nazis, not because of what they stand for, but he just thinks they're buffoons and are beneath him, and he's basically just using them to get to the Ark so that it can be his, pretty much. And so it goes into that, and it also goes into Marion a good bit, which is pretty cool. And yeah, he just handles all these characters in a great way, and I really enjoyed that. And the reason why I kind of think he must have just been basing the book off of the screenplay is because there's a lot of omissions too. Like the famous scene between Indy and the guy with the sword, that's not in the book. So that kind of tells me that he must not have seen the movie because who would leave that scene out? I mean, if you're going to write a book, you got to have that scene in there. So, and we all know that was like a ad lib or just something they did that day during filming to, get to it. So yeah, that's pretty interesting. The omissions are pretty interesting, but really what he does is he just adds a lot to the story and he kind of changes up dialogue here and there, which is kind of odd sometimes because we've all seen this movie so many times. We know the characters and the lines and what they say and stuff like the back of our hands. So it's always weird when they say something different, but in a way that kind of keeps it fresh too. Like we're not hearing the same thing over and over again. It's kind of something different for us to enjoy. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and just yeah, I mean, it really just goes into a lot of the details and stuff that's happening in the story, and that just didn't make it to the film, and it really sheds light too on motives and how this character got there and how that got there. And it's just really fun to read, and it's a short book too. It's only like 181 pages. So yeah, I mean, if you want to check it out, check it out. I think if you are a Indiana Jones fan and if you are a Raiders of the Lost Ark fan, yeah, you're gonna love this book, like hands down. And I can't wait to read the other movies, novelizations, like Temple of Doom. I bet it's going to be a really good book. Yeah, hopefully they kind of calm down with the craziness of the movie and actually make it a pretty creepy story. Because for me, a lot of that movie, I mean, you just have to suspend your disbelief so much. Like, Indy would have died 20 times in that movie. But yeah, I think if the book is like more of a kind of a creepy story, I think that'll be pretty cool. And our good friend Rob McGregor, the guy who wrote the first couple of Indiana Jones books, actually wrote the novelization for Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, so it'll be kind of interesting to see what he does. And it was just a lot of fun reading Raiders of the Lost Ark because as you're reading it, you can picture the movie and the sound effects and everything. I mean, it's really, really fun. Like when I started the book, I actually went out on my back deck, and it's kind of woodsy back there, so I could hear all the birds and stuff. And naturally, the book starts off in South America, so it was almost like I was actually there in the jungle with Indiana Jones. So that was really fun. So yeah, if you guys want to check it out, just check it out. I mean, I really loved reading it, so I think you will too. And I'm definitely going to be watching the movie tomorrow, and might make it a nice Indiana Jones weekend. So you guys have fun and take it easy.